Good evening, members of council, ladies and gentlemen, staff. I see that we have quorum, and I call this regular meeting for the Town of Pelham Council for Tuesday, February 20th, 2018 to order. Before we formally begin the meeting, I would ask that perhaps we would have a moment of silence for Dorothy Rungling. Dorothy Rungling passed away on Saturday at 106 years old. Dorothy is a legend. She was Canada's first helicopter pilot, a female helicopter pilot. She was a aviation star, a pioneer for women, known as the Flying Housewife. She received she is a member of the Order of Canada. She was instrumental in keeping the, at that point, Welland and Port Colborne Airport, which is in Pelham, open, and now that airport is known as the Dorothy Rungling Niagara Central Airport. She has a stamp that was named in her honor. Very, very inspirational as well. She was an author and wrote 4 books. I've read the 4 books. And they're more about the history of the time when she grew up and the history of our community, and about her mother, who was a accomplished woman in her own right as well. And she wrote those books after she was 90 years old. And I remember having some correspondence with her via email, in which she indicated, this was a few years ago, but she indicated she had to go because she had to show someone else in the building how to use the email. So she was, you know, some folks have said she is a legend. She is certainly a well-known legend in our community. For this council as well, she was the first female councillor in the township of Pelham in the 1960s, before the town of Pelham was incorporated. And she, as I said, she's really an inspiration to so many, always looking to the future, but knew as well her past. So let us remember Dorothy Rungling and commemorate her with a moment of silence. Thank you. I'm currently unaware of the details of any memorial service or commemoration of her passing. I'll certainly share that with council. And on the day of her funeral, I would ask that the flags in the town be placed at half-staff to commemorate her commitment to the community, service on council, but also her impact on our community. I would ask Councillor Papp to lead us in the singing of the national anthem, and all who are able to rise.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patron of, in all thy Son's command, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, councillors. Now we move to the agenda. It's been moved by Councillor Durley, second by Councillor King. Be it resolved that the agenda for the February 20th, 2018 regular meeting of council be adopted. Are there any changes to the agenda? Councillor Durley.
And thank you, Mr. Mayor. Unfortunately, the Pelham International, or Pelham Minor Hockey International Silver State champions were unable to make it for the presentation this evening. They will make it at another time, so I move we strike item 511.
Okay, thank you. Councillor King, will you second that?
I will.
Okay, thank you. We look forward to honoring our champions at a future meeting, likely in March. So I'm going to call the question on that amendment. All those in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. That motion carries. Any other changes to the agenda? There being none, I'm going to call the question on the amended agenda. All those in favor? Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Now we move to declarations of pecuniary interest and the general nature thereof. That is any conflicts of interest that any members of council may have. Do any members have any conflicts? Councillor Papp.
Yes, I do, Mr. Mayor. Item 5.1.2, the Big Brothers Big Sisters Bowl for Kids' Sake. I am the actual president of the board, and as always, I will excuse myself from the presentation.
Okay, thank you very much, Councillor. So noted. Any others? There are none. Thank you. Can that be so noted? So we'll now move to that item. And I see that the executive director is here.
Good evening, Mayor, Augustine, councillors, staff, and community members. I am Barb Vander Hayden, Executive Director of Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Niagara. Further to the correspondence shared with you a couple of weeks ago, I thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak briefly to you tonight regarding our 2018 Bowl for Kids' Sake campaign. Big Brothers Big Sisters has been providing mentoring programs to children within Canada for over 105 years now, with our agency offering one-to-one mentoring and Big for a Day programs since April 1964, then expanding to include site-based one-to-one and group mentoring programs within elementary schools to meet community needs. Research has proven children and youth participating in Big Brothers Big Sisters mentoring programs are 46% less likely to start using alcohol or illegal drugs, 33% less likely to hit someone, 17% more likely to be employed, 63% will receive post-secondary education, and lastly, the return on investment for every dollar is $18. The screening and matching process to ensure the best possible outcome for a big and little is extremely thorough, and the byproduct of this process is that it can take a long time to find a suitable match. The phase between when a family initially enrolls in Big Brothers Big Sisters programs and when they are matched is referred to as a wait list. These are children and youth who are anxiously awaiting their opportunity to be matched with the mentor that will have a meaningful impact on their lives. The math is simple. The more funds our agency can raise, the more time, resources, and staff that can be allocated to the matching process. As you have all heard many times before, without secure funding, our agency has a significant amount of money to raise yearly to support our matches. As all our programs are provided free of charge, we need to raise $307,500 this year in order to meet the annual budget, which is achieved through generous donors, sponsorships, grants, annual agency, and third-party fundraising events. I am here tonight to ask for assistance from Town Council and residents of Pelham in achieving this goal by supporting our Tim Hortons Bowl for Kids' Sake through participating. Our goal is to raise enough funding to support matching 30 littles from our wait list, which is currently 157, which translates into a minimum of $30,000. All of the funds raised from this event will stay within South Niagara's communities, which are Welland, Pelham, Port Colborne, Wainfleet, and Greater Fort Erie, and pledges may be directed to a specific community if so wished. If you're unable to get pledges or a team together for the campaign, we always welcome donations. Tim Hortons Bowl for Kids' Sake is a fundraising campaign where teams of 4 to 6 bowlers gather a minimum of $200 in pledges per team, then bowl two games 2 games in support of free mentoring programs for children within your community. You can register to bowl 5 or 10 pin at Just Bowlorama site in Welland or 5 pin at Carroll's Bowling Lanes in Fort Erie. Help make a difference in the lives of youth within your community in any way you can. With everyone doing a little bit, we know this can be achieved. Last but not least, our annual Mayor's Trophy is up for grabs again, so help your mayor and council bring it to the town of Pelham for the first time by participating and/or pledging. Regarding this challenge, I have a brief message to read to you from our Vice President. Municipal colleagues at Pelham Council, as the Vice President of Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Niagara, I want to say thank you for your ongoing support of the organization. It is amazing how quickly a child's outcome, perspective, and potential can change when they have positive influences in their lives. In Fort Erie, we are very proud to have been the municipal team that has raised the most pledges for the past 5 consecutive years at Bowl for Kids' Sake. We have a beautiful trophy for our efforts. Although you have never had the opportunity to see it, you'll just have to believe me. Wink, wink. We have no intention of relinquishing it this year, although I am hoping that you will strive to try and take it away from us. A friendly challenge. If you are able to lay claim to this year's title of highest pledge raisers amongst municipalities, I will personally present the trophy and convey my congratulations. However, if you fail short, I will expect Councillor Papp to be in Fort Erie a couple of months from now to hand it back to us and show up monthly to polish it. Sincerely, Stephen Pissarro, Councillor Ward 2 and proud member of the Board of Directors. So please join us Saturday, March 3rd at 4:30 or 7 p.m. or Wednesday, March the 7th at 4 p.m. at Just Bowlorama, Niagara Street in Welland, or Saturday, March 10th at 4:30 or 7 p.m. at Carroll's Bowling Lanes, Fort Erie. This year's theme is zombies, giving participants an opportunity to dress up in their most creative zombie ensemble and show their support. We encourage all teams to dress up, as prizes will be awarded for the best costume at each time slot. Help us continue to provide quality mentoring programs to children living within your community. Pre-register by going to www.bbbsiniagara.ca, clicking on the Bowl for Kids' Sake link, or call our office or fax in your team registrations. Thank you for your time. I will leave captain's packages and individual pledge forms with your clerk in case more are needed. Are there any questions?
Thank you very much for your presentation, Ms. Vander Heeden. Questions from members of council? Councillor King?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, just because we're being challenged, what is their average dollars raised? Do you know?
Yeah, what's our goal here that we're
what's our
trying to
goal?
beat?
For last year, they raised over $4,000.
Okay. Please
And
pass
Stephen-
the message. Please pass the message back that we will challenge.
And Stephen was sorry he couldn't be here, but he had a council meeting
Yes.
tonight as well, so.
Okay.
That's great. It's a great challenge and certainly a fun event. Some people say that when I bowl, it looks like I'm, the ball doesn't go very far, so it's like I'm dead already. I don't know. Trying to make a joke here about the zombies. So, but I'm not sure I'm going to get dressed up for it. You expect a lot of people to get dressed up for the zombies?
I don't know,
Because I was expecting you to be dressed as the zombie.
I know, and unfortunately, I had to do, as I explained at Kojiko interview today, so it was us here. The Niagara Region agencies all decided to go with zombies, and my question was, is it gonna scare the little kids?
Right.
But I was told I was old, and the kids would thoroughly enjoy it. So we went to the littles, and the feedback was that it was great. And
Oh,
it didn't-
good.
The parents, so I guess I'm just old. Dave, you are too.
I think so. Anything else for our presenter? No? I do want to say that I was, and I think I mentioned you this on the phone, I was at Glen Green recently, and certainly Big Brothers Big Sisters has a program there of kind of a person that helps, another student that helps some of the others with homework and things like that. It's kind of, they haven't been matched up yet, but they have a number of students that they help. And I was there witnessing it, and you could just see that the program was very, very effective. And the Mayor's Gala supported that a couple of years ago.
Yes.
That program is continuing, so it's obviously you're still in need of funds for that program, but it's great to see. So if you can't make that connection, the folks are on the waiting list, they can still be linked up at their school. And the principal spoke so highly of the program and how effective it was, and what a great program it was in the school. So thank you for that.
Thank you for sharing that.
All right, thank you
And
very
thank
much.
you.
We
Have
look
a
forward
good
to seeing you on the 3rd,
March the 3rd.
March the 3rd at
So
4:30. I think there's,
Pop is going to fax in your registration.
yes,
forms.
and Counselor King, myself, if you don't bowl, you gotta pledge us, and you see what our goal is.
Yeah.
So it
We
has been
have
moved,
6
thank you very
people.
much, been moved by Counselor King, seconded by Counselor Durley. Be it resolved, the council received the presentation from Big Brothers Big Sisters regarding their 2018 Bowl for Kids' Sake for information. I'll call the question. All those in favor? Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you very much. We appreciate your presentation this evening. And if you could send back Counselor Papp for us, thank you very much. It's a fun event. As we await Counselor Papp, I'll put this motion on the floor. It's been moved by Counselor Durley, seconded by Counselor King. Be it resolved that the February 8th, 2018 Regional Council Report be received for information. Questions or comments regarding this report? What went on at the Regional Council meetings and committee meetings and Regional Council in January and February? There being none, I'm going to call the question. All those in favor? Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Now we move to minutes. It's been moved by Councillor Lane, seconded by Councillor Kersey. Be it resolved, the following minutes be adopted as printed and circulated in red. Minutes of the council meeting of February 5th, 2018, and the special council meeting of February 12th, 2018. Are there any errors or omissions in those minutes? There being none, I call the question. All those in favor? Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next, we move to consent agenda items for separate consideration, or consent agenda items to be considered in block. And my question to council is, are there any items that council would like to consider under separate motion? Any items to lift for separate consideration? There being none, it's been moved by Councillor Kersey, second by Councillor Durley. Be it resolved, the following consent agenda items be received and the recommendations therein be approved as applicable. Presentation of recommendations arising from the Committee of the Whole for council approval. Be it resolved, the council approve the following recommendations as presented from the Committee of the Whole meeting minutes held on February 5th, 2018. And we also have under 9.2 the minutes of that meeting. Staff reports of routine nature for information or action, and these are simply to receive. And one item, that the cost break, be it resolved that the February 14th, 2018 memorandum from the treasurer outlining the costs associated with responding to the Region of Niagara Audit Committee resolutions be received. We have some action correspondence of routine nature. Be it resolved, the council received the correspondence from John Reiter, Lipa Park, and the request for community festivals and special event permits, and the council approved the request to hold community festivals on the following dates. May 21st, 2018, Slovenian Open House, part of the Niagara Folk Arts Festival. July 8th, 2018, Summerfest. August 12th, 2018, Music in the Park Festival, and that the festivals outlined therein be and are hereby designated as community events of municipal significance, and that the clerk be directed to advise Lipa Park. We have a couple of items of information correspondence. The first from the Township of Norwich. The resolution is that council received the correspondence from the Township of Norwich dated February 5th regarding a resolution Ontario Building Code amendments for information. The second from Asa Hansler regarding the Quaker Meeting House. Be it resolved, the council received the correspondence from A. Hansler dated February 8th regarding the Quaker Meeting House for information. We have one item regarding from the Region of Niagara, and be it resolved, the council received the correspondence from the Region of Niagara Council dated February 12, 2018, regarding a resolution respecting the town of Pelham resident and ratepayer petition for information. Then we have committee minutes for information, Summerfest community minutes. Be it resolved, the council received the Summerfest committee minutes dated January 24th, 2018 for information. And also be it resolved, the council received the Pelham Seniors Advisory Committee meeting minutes dated December 6, 2017 and January 10th, 2018 for information. Comments or questions on any of those items? I want to just highlight and thank the organizers of at Lipa Park. Some great festivals there. Certainly, I was at a couple of their events last year. The open house is a wonderful event, so I'd encourage all who are able to attend on May 21st, which is coming up, and it's part of the Niagara Folk Arts. It's always a great festival there, and it's good that Pelham Group is part of the Folk Arts. And we were there just for the chamber event last week, and it's just a beautiful facility, and they were very, very hospitable. And then the second, I do want to thank Mr. Hansler for giving us some additional information on the Quaker Meeting House. No doubt staff took note of that in terms of the designation, and he's also involved in the cemetery as well. So without further ado, I'm going to call the question on those items. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Now we move to reports from members of council. I have my report here. I'll quickly get to it. I'll be just want to highlight some of the items that occurred in January here. The first was, along with Councillor Durley and Ms. Van Ravensway, it was a pleasure to attend the opening ceremonies of the 19th Annual International Silver Stick AE Finals at the Scotiabank Convention Centre. This was held on the 11th of January. A great opening ceremony, and 2,300 people attending that event. It was amazing. You can see in some of the pictures there the folks that were there, and we look forward to hosting. We had conversations about hosting the 20th, and I think Ms. Van Ravensway had a way in which we might do it in the new community center, so we look forward to that, and certainly hope it was a memorable event, and lots of volunteer hours go into that, organizing that, and they're all from the Pelham community, so kudos to those individuals who organize it. I had the pleasure of presenting to the Welland Rotary Club in mid-January about the great things going on in Pelham, from the new community center to Wellspring Niagara to the many and current and imminent developments. Also congratulations to the club on their ongoing work to improve Welland and area, and highlighted and reminded them certainly of the work that we did with Bearskin Lake as well, and possibilities of working together with them on that further. You see the photo here in my presentation. I was very pleased as we sat down and discussed some of the items in the transition to the new community center that Byron, Todd, and Mario, representing the Pelham Minor Hockey, presented a $100,000 donation to the capital campaign. Amazing show of support from the community. Great to get that, and we'll look forward to honoring their gift in the new community center. I was pleased to be there along with Councillor Papp and Councillor Lane at the grand opening of the new Penn Financial Credit Union on the 25th of January. Lots of activities that afternoon. Certainly lots of people there. I was also impressed with their generosity and show of support to Wellspring Niagara and sponsoring various Pelham events. Members of staff were there as well, and we thank them for sponsoring various events, both of other service clubs and here at the town. And they just hosted on the weekend, I was unable to join them, but they just hosted a walk for Wellspring as well. So they're really embedded into the community, so congratulations to Penn Financial Credit Union. Along with members of council, certainly pleased to join the Fawn Hill Firefighters Association for their annual installation dinner, and it's always a great evening to honor the Firefighter of the Year there you see, and some of the long-serving members, but also just thank all of the firefighters in general for their ongoing dedication and service and commitment to the community. I did have the honor of kicking off the pre-budget consultation for Niagara for the province. And I talked about ways in which they might help municipalities with financial support for downtowns, just as we receive that support from them. Also recreational projects, transit, more stormwater separation, and also promoting housing that's affordable. And finally, there is a couple of meetings here with our member of Parliament, a close member of Parliament, Vance Badaway from Niagara Centre, meeting with Vance in the middle of January, and also meeting with Jim Bradley, the MPP for St. Catharines. Just bring those members up to date with various activities going on in the town. I tend to do that every 6 months to a year, talking about various projects and things and how we might work together. And there are other members that I've met with more recently, but this is to the end of January. And pending any questions from the council, it's been moved by Councillor Lane, second by Councillor Durley. Be it resolved that the mayor's report dated February 20th, 2018 be received for information. I'll call the question. All those in favor? Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Now we move to presentation consideration of bylaws. It's been moved by Councillor King, second by Councillor Durley. Be it resolved, the Council of the Town of Pelham, having given due consideration to the following bylaws, do now read a first, second, and third time and do pass the same, and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to sign and seal the following bylaw, Bylaw 3970, being a bylaw to amend Bylaw 3578, confirming various appointments to boards, commissions, and committees of the Town of Pelham, and to remove members from the Pelham Summerfest Committee, Schedule N. Questions or comments? Councillor Kersey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I realize this would not be incorporated into the bylaw, but it's an appropriate time to ask that perhaps staff would send a letter of thanks on behalf of council to Michelle. She was instrumental over the last couple of years in handling the fundraising, in interfacing with the community for Summerfest, and helped it to be the success that it is. So if we could do that, I'd be very pleased. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Well, duly noted. Thank you. Anything further? I'm going to call the question. All those in favor? Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Now we move to confirming bylaw. It's been moved by Councillor Durley, second by Councillor King. Be it resolved, the following bylaw be read a first, second, third time and passed, being bylaw 3971 to adopt, ratify, and confirm the proceedings of the Council of the Town of Pelham. It's a regular meeting held today on the 20th day of February 2018. All those in favor? Any opposed? That motion carries. It's been moved by Councillor Lane, second by Councillor Durley. Be it resolved, this regular meeting of council be adjourned until the next regular meeting scheduled for March 5th, 2018. All those in favor? Any opposed? That motion carries. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Councillor Papp's going to be taking up the chair, so just, do you want to just roll right into it, Council?
You good with that?
Okay. Okay. So just give us 30 seconds.
The clerk needs to